All right, buckle up, everyone, because today we're diving deep into something really cool: the smart circular economy.
We're talking cutting-edge tech, sustainability.
And you know we love to go beyond the buzzwords.
That's right, we're digging into some seriously cool research from 2024.
Our listeners sent it over, and it's all about how businesses can actually put this whole circular economy idea into practice.
And not just any businesses, we're talking industrial scale.
The title of the paper is a bit of a mouthful: Smart Circular Economy as a Service Business Model.
But it makes a really interesting point. Going circular, minimizing waste, it's not just good for the planet.
It's good for business, too.
Exactly. We're moving away from that old make, use, dispose mentality.
Which, let's be honest, hasn't exactly been kind to our planet.
A circular strategy is all about building things to last, designing products from the get-go with reuse, repair, remanufacturing, and recycling in mind.
It's about squeezing every last drop of value out of the things we make. Makes sense to me. But what does that actually look like on the ground? Give me an example.
Okay, imagine a plastic injection molding company. They make all sorts of plastic parts, right?
Lots of industries rely on those.
Now, the paper talks about how these companies are using sensors to actually predict when their machines need maintenance.
So instead of waiting for something to break down, those costly emergency repairs, they're staying ahead of the game.
Precisely. Less downtime, less waste, and that's just one example.
So this paper, it lays out a whole framework, right?
Yeah, they call it the Smart Circular System Funnel. Think of it like levels of achievement, you know?
Love a good visual. So at the most basic level, what are companies doing?
So at the top of the funnel, you have businesses using data for more efficient operations. Think predictive maintenance, like we just talked about.
That's level one. What about the next level up?
Level 2 gets even more interesting. This is where companies are using data to really understand how their products are being used in the real world.
Sensors, data analysis, the whole shebang. So they don't just make a product and forget about it. They're learning from how it's actually being used.
Exactly. They can spot potential issues, maybe even before the customer knows there's a problem.
Yeah.
But it's the bottom of the funnel where things get really exciting, what they call smart circular activities.
This is where companies are using data to completely rethink how they do business.
Right. And we're not talking small tweaks. We're talking fundamental changes.
Hit me with an example. I'm ready.
Okay, picture a company that makes industrial bearings. Those things are built to withstand some serious wear and tear.
Built to last, for sure.
With sensors and data analysis, they can track those bearings, see exactly how much life they have left in them.
And I'm guessing they're not just waiting around for those bearings to fail.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
They could proactively take them back, maybe even before the customer realizes they need to be replaced.
Okay, so they've got these high-tech bearings back in their hands. What's next?
Because they have all this data about its condition, they can remanufacture it to, like, new condition.
Wow, talk about giving those bearings a second life. But let's be real, not every company out there is ready to become, a data gathering machine.
Right.
What about companies that aren't at that level yet? How do they even dip their toes into this smart circular economy?
That's where this whole idea of servitization comes in. You might have heard that term thrown around.
I think I have. It sounds a little, I don't know.
A little jargony,
Yeah, maybe.
but it's actually a really important concept here.
Okay, so servitization, break it down for me. What does it actually mean?
Basically, it means shifting from selling a product to selling an outcome.
Okay, I'm listening.
So imagine, instead of just buying a washing machine, you're buying clean laundry as a service.
Interesting.
The company takes care of everything.
Yeah.
The maintenance, repairs, eventually even taking back that old machine and giving you a new one.
So it's like subscribing to clean clothes.
Exactly.
I can definitely get behind that. But I'm curious, how does this tie back into the whole circular economy thing we're talking about?
Because now the company making that washing machine, they have a bigger stake in the game.
I see.
They're incentivized to make it durable, easy to repair, designed for easy remanufacturing or recycling down the line, because they're the ones who are going to be dealing with it later.
It's not just about selling you a new washing machine every couple of years.
Exactly. And all that data they're gathering about how the machine is being used, it helps them improve the design, the service, make it even more efficient. It's a win-win.
That makes a lot of sense. I'm picking up what you're putting down. It creates this kind of virtuous cycle. The paper actually highlights a company doing this, right?
They do. They talk about Ricoh. They're a big name in printers.
Okay.
And they've really gone all in on this whole servitization thing. They have a thought they call the comment circle.
Comment circle. I like it. Has a nice ring to it. Tell me more about it.
Basically, they offer printing as a service. So they own the machines, they handle all the maintenance, they reuse and remanufacture parts as needed, recycle the toner cartridges. They're hitting all those levels of the smart circular funnel we were talking about earlier.
That's really impressive. But realistically, not every company can just, flip a switch and completely transform their business model overnight.
Yeah, for sure.
The paper talks about some challenges too, right?
Definitely. And one of the big ones is standardization.
I can see how that would be an issue.
Imagine trying to build this interconnected, data-driven system when everyone is using different technologies, different languages, so to speak.
It would be chaos.
Total chaos. And that's why this idea of a digital product passport is so interesting. The paper touches on this too.
Yeah, they mentioned that. So what exactly is a digital product passport? It sounds kind of official.
Think of it like a digital birth certificate for a product. It would store all the essential information about that product throughout its entire life cycle,
So what it's made of, how it was manufactured, repair history, all of that.
all in one place. That way, everyone involved, from the manufacturers to the repair shops to the recyclers, they're all on the same page.
So transparency is key.
Transparency is absolutely key for this whole circular system to work.
That sounds like a real game changer. But whenever you have new technologies emerging, you have to ask,
Yeah,
what about the potential downsides? Are there any concerns about companies maybe using this technology for, well, not so great purposes?
absolutely.
What's to stop them from designing products to break down faster, that whole planned obsolescence problem?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
The authors of the paper, they acknowledge that this potential for planned obsolescence, it's a real concern.
Yeah.
We need to be aware of it. We need to guard against it.
It's not enough to just make things smart. We have to make sure we're using these technologies ethically and responsibly. And as consumers, I think it's on us too. We need to be savvy.
100%.
We have to demand products that are actually built to last.
Consumers have a lot of power. And more, companies are starting to realize that embracing a circular economy, it's not just some ethical afterthought.
It just makes good business sense.
Exactly.
We've covered a lot of ground here, the potential, some of the challenges, and it's clear that we need careful planning and some serious ethical considerations as we move forward with all of this. This has been, seriously mind-blowing stuff. But I think there's one big question we haven't really touched on yet.
Now, what's that?
What does all this mean for the average person? Why should they care about this whole smart circular economy thing?
That's where it gets really interesting. If this research is on point and data really is the fuel for this whole smart circular economy, just imagine the kinds of jobs we're going to see popping up.
Yeah, we're already seeing huge demand for data analysts, software developers, all that.
Absolutely. But it's not just going to be those traditional tech jobs. Think about it. We're going to need people who can actually work on these smart products, repair them, remanufacture them.
So it's not your average mechanic anymore.
Exactly. We're going to need a whole new generation of skilled technicians, people who don't just know how to take something apart and put it back together, but who can read and understand the data those products are generating.
It's like mechanics who can also decipher what the sensor is telling them, right?
Right. A whole new breed of handyman. And it's not just repairs either. Think about the logistics of getting those products back to be remanufactured or recycled.
Yeah, that reverse supply chain.
Exactly. We're going to need people who can optimize those processes, make them as efficient and waste-free as possible. Even product design, that's going to change.
Oh, for sure.
Designers are going to have to start thinking about disassembly and material recovery right from the start.
So it's not just about making things, it's about unmaking them too.
Exactly. This paper makes a really compelling argument that this smart circular economy, it's not just going to change how we make and use products. It's going to completely transform entire industries.
And the workforce behind them.
Absolutely. It's a pretty big deal.
It's exciting, it's a little bit daunting, but it's definitely the future.
It is. And what we've talked about today, this is really just scratching the surface.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
The shift toward a smart circular economy is already happening. It'll be fascinating to see how it all plays out.
Absolutely. Well, we've definitely given our listeners a lot to think about today. So if you're intrigued by what you've heard, if you're curious about this whole smart circular economy, don't stop here.
There's so much more to explore.
Do your own research, dig deeper, because who knows, maybe you'll be one of the people shaping this new circular future.
I love that thought.
That's a wrap on this deep dive into the smart circular economy. Until next time, stay curious, everyone.